happened when a single dad rescued a stranded woman on a stormy night, only to discover she was the CEO of the very company he worked for. This story will change how you see kindness forever. So stick around till the end, and if it touches your heart, don't forget to like this video, share it, and subscribe for more inspiring real-life stories. It was late evening in the small town of Maple Ridge, where the streets were quiet and the cold rain poured relentlessly from the dark clouds. Daniel Hayes, a single father in his 30s, was driving home after finishing his shift at a local construction site. His hands were rough, his face tired, and his old pickup truck rattled with every turn. But despite his exhaustion, his thoughts were gentle, filled with love for his 8-year-old daughter, Lily, who was waiting for him with her favorite bedtime story. Life wasn't easy for Daniel. Ever since his wife passed away 3 years ago from cancer, he had been juggling work, bills, and parenthood all alone. But no matter how hard things got, he always told Lily, "We might not have everything, but we have each other, and that's enough." As Daniel drove through the storm, his headlights caught sight of a sleek black car parked on the side of the deserted road, hazard lights blinking faintly through the rain. He slowed down, concerned. The car looked expensive, definitely not from around here. Without hesitation, he pulled over. Stepping out into the rain, his boots splashed into a puddle as he approached the car. Inside, a woman was sitting in the driver's seat, her head bowed over the steering wheel. He knocked lightly on the window. She looked up, startled. Through the fogged glass, Daniel saw a woman in her early 30s, dressed in an elegant business suit, makeup slightly smudged, but still radiating confidence even in distress. She rolled down the window just enough to speak. "My car just died," she said, her voice trembling slightly. "And my phone's out of signal. I don't know what to do." Daniel gave a reassuring smile. "You're lucky I came by. Let me take a look." After a few minutes under the hood, it was clear the car wouldn't start. The battery was dead, and the engine looked like it had suffered from the cold. "You're not going anywhere tonight in this thing," Daniel said. "There's no tow service nearby, it's a small town. But you can come with me. I live just a few miles down the road. You'll be safe and dry." The woman hesitated. "I don't usually go with strangers," she said cautiously. Daniel chuckled softly. "I get it. But you can sit here all night, or come to a warm house with hot coffee. Your choice." Something about his calm, genuine tone made her trust him. She finally agreed. Minutes later, they were driving through the rain, Daniel's old truck creaking but warm inside. The woman introduced herself as Claire. She didn't say much more, but Daniel noticed how her eyes looked tired, not just from the night, but from years of carrying the world on her shoulders. When they arrived at Daniel's small home, Claire looked around curiously. It was modest but full of warmth, handmade furniture, a little kitchen, and drawings taped to the fridge. Lily ran to the door, her big brown eyes lighting up. "Daddy! You're home." Then she noticed Claire and whispered, "Who's that?" "This is Miss Claire," Daniel said. "Her car broke down. She'll stay for a bit." Lily, polite as ever, smiled. "You can have my blanket if you're cold." Claire's heart softened. She hadn't felt that kind of innocent kindness in years. "Thank you, sweetheart," she said gently. That night, Daniel made coffee and grilled cheese sandwiches. Claire watched how tenderly he cared for his daughter, brushing her hair, reading her a story, kissing her forehead. It was simple, but it was love in its purest form. When Lily finally fell asleep, Claire whispered, "You're a good father." Daniel smiled faintly. "I try. Life didn't exactly go as planned, but she keeps me going." Claire nodded, staring into her cup. "I know what that's like. Sometimes people see success and think it means happiness. But it's not always true." They talked for hours about dreams, about loss, about what it meant to keep going when life hit hard. For the first time in a long while, Claire felt human again, not just a name on a company logo. The next morning, the rain had stopped. Daniel helped get her car towed into town and even offered to drive her to the nearest city so she could meet whoever she needed to. She thanked him again and again, but he just smiled. Just helping someone who needed it. That's all. As she was about to leave, Lily ran up and handed Claire a small drawing, a picture of 3 people holding hands in the rain. "So you won't forget us," she said shyly. Claire's eyes glistened. I won't, she promised. 2 weeks later, Daniel went to work as usual at the construction site of a new corporate building. His company had just been taken over by new management. Rumor had it the new CEO was tough, brilliant, and very private. When all the workers were gathered for the official introduction, Daniel stood at the back, wiping his hands on his dusty jeans. The room quieted as the door opened. A woman stepped in wearing a navy blue business suit, heels clicking confidently on the floor. Daniel froze. It was her. Claire, his mind raced. No way. Claire looked around the room, her professional mask perfectly in place, until her eyes landed on Daniel. For a brief second, her composure softened, a tiny smile breaking through. The other workers had no idea what was going on. Good morning, everyone, she began. I'm Claire Anderson, your new CEO. I've heard this team is the backbone of this project, and I'm here to make sure your hard work is recognized. After the meeting, as everyone returned to their stations, Claire approached Daniel quietly. So, she said with a playful smile, looks like you rescued your boss. Daniel chuckled nervously. Guess so. Didn't see that coming. Neither did I, she admitted. But I owe you more than you know. Over the following months, Claire made it a point to visit the construction site often, not just as a CEO, but as someone who truly cared about her workers. Daniel's honesty and dedication stood out, and soon, she promoted him to site supervisor. Their friendship grew naturally, though both felt something deeper forming. One evening after work, Claire stopped by Daniel's house again. Lily ran to her, hugging her legs like an old friend. You came back. I told you I would, Claire said warmly. That night, they all sat together again, laughing, sharing stories, and feeling like a family without even realizing it. When Claire helped Lily with her homework, Daniel couldn't help but smile. It was like life had quietly given him back a piece of happiness he thought he'd lost forever. Weeks passed, and Daniel's life began to change for the better. The promotion helped him pay off debts, fix his home, and plan a small vacation for Lily. But more than that, it was the friendship and love that grew between him and Claire that truly changed everything. Still, Daniel hesitated. You're the CEO, he once told her. And I'm just, don't say that, Claire interrupted. You're the man who stopped in the rain to help a stranger. That means more than any title ever could. Her words broke through his walls. For the first time in years, Daniel felt seen, not as a worker, not as a single dad struggling to make ends meet, but as a man worthy of love. Months later, at the company's annual celebration, Claire stood on stage, giving a speech. When she reached the end, she looked directly at Daniel and said, sometimes, success isn't about money or power. It's about the people who show kindness when no one's watching. I wouldn't be standing here today without one such person. The crowd applauded, unaware of the full story. Daniel's eyes met hers across the room, and in that moment, he knew what started as an act of kindness had turned into something life-changing. When the event ended, Claire walked up to him, her smile soft and sincere. You once rescued me, Daniel, she said quietly. Now, let me return the favor. Let me be there for you and Lily. Not as your boss, but as someone who cares. And as the lights dimmed and the music played, Daniel took her hand. The storm that once brought them together had passed long ago, but the warmth it left behind remained forever. So if this story touched your heart, remember, kindness costs nothing but can change everything. And if you believe that love still finds its way when you least expect it, hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe for more stories that remind us all, goodness always comes back around.